Welcome to this commentary. I'm Darlanio, and this will be a game between DieStar and Hasu here on the Shattered Temple ESL version. This is part of the Dailymotion Cup, and this is one of the games in the best of 5 games between these two. If you haven't seen the earlier games, please go watch them right away. I should say that this is game 3, and DieStar is spawning as the purple Terran here in the 7 o'clock position. He is also doing the very standard 10 supply depot. The 9 supply pylon is coming up for Hasu, who is spawning as the yellow Protoss here in the 8 o'clock position, so it's close air bases. Okay. The big question, of course, is who will win this game, and as you can see, it's a long game. It's almost half an hour long. Blizzard time, of course. So I hope it will be a very interesting game. One probe from Hasu, checking out the base close by air, and of course he's guessing the right base. And he will see the barracks coming up, and he starts harassing. He tried to harass this poor SCV building the barracks, but got in trouble with this SCV instead. And well, they fought a bit, and now the probe returns. Barracks being finished, and a marine is coming out. This SCV damaged from that fight is going up here to scout, seeing the 12 supply gateway. Now the probe that was harassing returns. Okay, the 12 supply gateway and the whatever, I don't know, I didn't see when it started, cybernetics core is coming up, but this is standard. We also have an assimilator there, and it will be another gateway here, possibly later on a second assimilator as well. After the barracks was finished and one marine was trained, DieStar added a tech lab and is at the moment training a Reaper, so it's very likely we will see some Reaper harassment. His command center was also turned into an orbital command to give access to those important emules. We see one probe being destroyed by the Reaper, and the Reaper is chased away by this stalker. Okay, oh, we see DieStar expanding early, and he is actually expanding before Hasu. That's very interesting. Normally a Protoss player will have one more base later on in a large macro game than a Terran player, but this time the Terran player is up one base. Not finished, not saturated, I give you that, but well defended by this bunker, I should say. This Reaper is being chased away from the Sulnaga by these 2 stalkers. Still one stalker standing here defending the ledge. I wonder what he will do with this Reaper. Okay, he is walking right into a trap here. 3-4 shots. The Reaper took 4 shots but is not killed. Remains as a threat on the board. 2 marauders. We have 3 barracks right now. And the factory is coming up here. The second refinery is being finished. We see a 3rd gateway for Hasu, and his expansion is, I should say, finally coming into play soon. The Reaper is checking out the expansion areas. These stalkers are still holding the Silnaga. And the expansion of DieStar has been turned into an orbital command. One SCV being locked in this corner by the engineering bay that it built. Not much to do there. It will have to wait for a medevac to pick it up. A 3rd refinery there, and the medevac might not be that far-fetched, far away. It is possible to produce it from this starport, and the starport also gets a reactor which was built on the factory. Proxy pylon placed by Hasu in the middle of the base, the 4th or 5th expansion area for DieStar. An observer checking out the base of DieStar. Hasu is possibly seeing a lot of getting a lot of information from this observer. Looks like it might be under fire here if it gets too close, since that turret is there. Okay, back to everyone camera. We also saw that Hasu is opening up the path up to this expansion area up here. Destructible rocks, which is in place on Shattered Temple instead of the non-existing land here, which makes this expansion area an island on Lost Temple. We have a dropship from DieStar, a failed drop, since these stalkers were able to first chase it away and then actually destroy the ship with several, I think it was 6 marines in it. That was a large loss for DieStar. If he had been able to make a drop here without being chased away, several of these probes would have been killed. Another proxy pylon being placed here by Hasu, blocking the later expansion of DieStar. I guess that Hasu is waiting for 400 minerals, since he probably wants to place a nexus here. He is still behind on expansions. If we look at the income tab, we see that the Terran is actually not that far ahead. 56 against 54, 56 versus 54, Harvesters 55 now, and it seems he is not using his emules as he should, since this is almost equal. Strange. He has one emule out and should be ahead much more. A good army is attacking, and also a good Protoss army is able to defend here. The Bioball with its medivacs is retreating. Okay, this command center is also turned into an orbital command. 3 orbital commands, that's a lot. Lot of emules. This nexus is almost finished, it's coming into play right now. And we see that Hasu is also expanding his gas. His assimilator increased from 4 to 6. High Templars, very good units, especially versus Ghosts. In the last engagement here we saw 2 Ghosts getting killed in the early part of the fight. And a new Ghost is coming out here. Ghosts are very effective versus large groups of Protoss units, since their EMP can remove the shields. And High Templars are very good units to counter Ghosts with, since they have feedback and drains all energy from the target. It still says, I don't know if that's true anymore. One patch should have decreased that to a maximum amount of energy. Not sure if that was 100 or 200. The Ghosts, of course, getting too much damage from the feedback and getting killed. Not sure why he hasn't researched cloaking ability for the Ghosts yet. Maybe because he suspects the Protoss player to have a lot of observers anywhere on the map. But right now I would say that DieStar has a good map control with his bio ball, and I can see that Hasu is clearing the destructible rocks here at the gold expansion. His third expansion is somewhat saturated, and we see him mining at maximum capacity from both his starting base and the natural expansion. The turret that was being built has been destroyed by the Stalkers. The Stalkers was chased back somewhat, at least. The new turret is being destroyed. And now when the large bioball is engaging, the Stalkers are blinking away and retreating to their own base. DieStar has placed a command center on the gold expansion and is morphing it into a planetary fortress. The destructible rocks here has been destroyed. I saw one dot on the minimap earlier, and I guess that might have been one of these zealots now slashing away on the SCVs here. Space construction vehicles are not that good to fight zealots with, but here comes marines in large masses. A very good amount of bio units supported by their medivacs. DieStar is at 191, Hasu is at 199, and I guess it will be only a few minutes at most until we see a large engagement. So far, DieStar is clearing out these proxy pylons. We see a small group compared to what I guess that Hasu has. A small group of Stalkers moving in, killing off the few lonely units. One marine here on the Selnaga and a few spread out units here on the map. They are right now retreating, while this High Templar was able to hurt a lot of units with that Psy Storm. course, the medevacs are able to heal up. Feedback's going down. 2 ghosts being destroyed, I think. Strangely enough, this High Templar still has 0 kills. Okay, scan going down, destroying an observer, I think, and then a part of the army is stimming up, chasing back some of the Protoss units. Another observer is coming into the zone. And we see Colossi moving into position between the Protoss army and the Terran army. DieStar is not completely maxed out. And still he is attacking, while Hasu was earlier at 200. Falling rapidly, 140. DieStar still at 186. 2 Psy Storms, not changing that advantage much for DieStar, but decreasing his army. I see now that Hasu is able to renew his army very quickly because of the warp gates, and it's about equal right now. 140 to 142, 144 to 134. It's going back and forth here. Looks like DieStar is sacrificing the last piece of his army. Yes, these medevacs are hunted down by the stalkers. What I was going to say is that the last part of his army focused fire on the Colossi, killing it, and maybe that sacrifice was necessary. We see a 5th base for DieStar, and it's being morphed into a planetary fortress. And meanwhile, this group of 5 zealots to Dark Templars are moving in. 1 Dark Templar killing off SCVs and being killed now, since the scan is revealing its position. The large Bioball is moving in, attacking and killing these units. And of course the turret gives vision of the last Dark Templar, which is sent back to Ire. We see a scan going down here in the center, revealing the smaller army of Protoss units holding the Selnaga. After the scan has timed out, we see 4 Colossi moving in, reinforcing that group. Hasu also has a 5th base coming here. We see the Protoss Hasu attacking now, destroying the turret there. Reinforcing with more zealots. Will he be attacking? No, he is just waiting. And now there is an engagement between the Bioball and the Protoss army. Psy Storms going down, more units coming in from the south. The 4 Colossi with the Thermal Lance upgrade are able to kill a lot of bio units. DieStar is down to 137 compared to Hasu's 173. The units... Oh, another large engagement. The Vikings are able to kill off 1 of the 5 Colossi. Now there's 4 remaining. It's very much too much for the Terran player right now, who has 1 medevac and 4 Vikings. No more units. 8 High Templars, 10 Stalkers, 3 Colossi now, 7 Zealots and 2 Observers. It's a very large army compared to 1 Medivac. Okay, of course the Terran player has been able to replenish his army somewhat. I see a few Marauders shooting their consecutive shells on this poor High Templar who has 11 hit points left. The natural expansion of DieStar is completely destroyed. However, know that SV has been saved by a Medivac and brought back to duty. This third expansion of DieStar is being attacked. Several Stalkers moving through there. 3 Zealots here. And now we see the Stalkers attacking this planetary fortress. Not a good idea, and they are retreating. No more units remaining in the base except for this High Templar who is killed now. Okay. But Hasu has been able to destroy this natural base. I guess it's not really necessary to build this since there is so few minerals left here. Maybe it would be for the gas, but this Dark Templar is destroying the refineries. This Dark Templar will meet its maker, also on Ire, I guess, or maybe a Dune. Another large army of Protoss units are moving in, destroying this planetary fortress at the gold minerals, where not that much minerals remain. These Marauders, stimmed up, was able to do a lot of damage. Now several Psystorms later, only a few of them remain and they are badly hurt, and this is the end for DieStar. His army is completely wiped out in seconds. We can see that reinforcements are coming in for the Protoss player, and without his gold expansion, his natural expansion, he's down to 3 bases compared to Hasu, who is warping in his 6th nexus here. So Hasu makes a really devastating attack and kills off DieStar's natural expansion, is able to harass him with Dark Templars, killing a lot of SCVs, and finally gets the win when DieStar surrenders. Okay, very exciting match, and I hope you will stay tuned for the next one. If you haven't seen the first games in this match, you should of course have stopped looking at this game and watched them before this, but if you still haven't seen them, you should do that now instead. And after you've seen them, maybe see this almost epic game again, and after that you can move on to the next game, which will be up on YouTube soon. Thanks for watching. Please send me comments on what I could do better. I like that. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.